Hello, hello, hello. Hopefully everybody comes back. If not, no worries. This will still be here. All right. Yay. Hello. There have been a little bit of changes since we last seen each other. Hello, Monty. Oh, we're just waiting on the court to start back up. So, how is everyone? You notice up in my upper right-hand corner, the StreamYard logo is now gone. So, yeah, there had to be some changes after we met this morning. Yeah, it's been a day. Hello. How are you? We ended that stream and StreamYard told me I had to bite the bullet and get a paid plan. That's what's going on. Oh, I like me a good chicken Alfredo. I haven't had one in a while. Yeah, it was partly my fault because I forgot they'd already told me that I was running out of hours when it used to be completely free. Hello, Carolina. So yeah, and I had somebody, I want to say maybe Darlene. I'm not sure because I'm not going to say their name, but thank you so much for buying me 10 coffees. I really, really appreciate that. I didn't know that earlier. So I want to thank that person. That will help go towards the cost now of StreamYard. It was $45, Julie, a month. Hold on. So yeah, let me put this on behind us. Oh, oh wow. Wow. No. No, 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 no. So where did it go? There we go. As you can see, I have it on. Yeah. And I would appreciate that, Julie, because it is going to be kind of hard to keep up with that for right now. But it's something that had to happen. I don't know if I like it. my picture that way. There. I don't like the circle. Yeah, so I'll so see, I dropped that one. Yes, Carolina, I didn't get to see all of it because I was over here, so hopefully I'll be able to go back later this evening and see what I missed. Oh, wrong one. I don't see. I don't even know what I'm doing on my own channel. Shame on me. Oh, that's why. I know Cynthia's probably off taking her nap. Let's see, and we have one more. So what do you guys think about this trial right now? I think we're kind of starting off slow and rocky. I'm not getting the vibe yet, I don't think. Sorry, I must have got something must have snuck up and got me. Probably one of my spiders. There, Cynthia. There you are. Good to see you. Aw, Carolina and Julie, thank you so much. That helps. Maybe it was you. Maybe. Yeah, we're just waiting for them to start back up and then. I wondered. I wondered if it was that or if you were taking your nap. Hello. Oh, thank you, Monty. That helps so much. Because, yeah, like I was telling them, I had to bite the bullet on StreamYard. So once I ended that, it told me I was out of hours.
Ready anyway.
Here we go.
Yeah, if they're ready, come on, bring them on in anyway. hope everybody had a good lunch. I trust no one had any problems with the court's instructions about the investigating and discussing the case. If you ever have any problems in that regard, let me know. You may resume your direct examination of Mr. McCallister. Mr. McCallister, you remain in the same mode.
All right, before the break, we discussed the report from Scales Biolab. Where are they located?
In Brandon, Mississippi.
All right, do you deal with them pretty regular?
We use them pretty regularly.
For what purpose?
Biological samples, things like that.
And what do they do?
Test for DNA and other things.
So if you find biological evidence on the scene, you take a sample and you'll maybe get a sample, like in this case, from Caitlin and Jeff Spence, to compare that unknown sample to two known samples.
Yes.
Did you do that in this case?
Yes, we did.
And you said the first result was somebody related to Caitlin Spence.
A male relative, yes.
Matched that spot on the stairs, correct?
Yes.
And did you get a search warrant for Jeff Spence's DNA?
MBI did.
MBI did?
They did.
And did they send that known sample of Jeff Spence to Scales Biolab?
I believe they did.
And they sent your report back?
Yes.
And what was the conclusion of that report?
That the sample was Jeff Spence DNA.
I'm sorry?
The samples were positive for Jeff Spence's DNA.
Okay. It was a match.
Yes.
They would ask this to be received and done. It's exhibit S13.
All right, you did.
All right. I could have this marked for ID. Search warrant, Jeff Spence. Cell phone. And then search warrant. Jeff Spence, cell phone. Cell phone. The first one was Rise and this is iPhone. And then Karen Smith's cell phone.
That's 17.
Now, where we picked up, or where we left off was around February of 2023.
Yes.
Any arrest warrants on the murder of Kirby Carpenter at this point?
Not at that time, no.
What was the next series of events in your investigation? And let me just ask you this. Did you receive any anonymous information?
I did.
When did you receive that?
I don't remember the exact date. I'm gonna try to see if I can find it, if I made a note of it or not.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to hand you what's been marked as Exhibit S18.
Yes.
Is that part of your investigative file?
Yes,
And how, do you recognize it?
I do.
Do you recall how you came into custody of that information?
I do.
And how did you come into custody of that information?
This anonymous letter was mailed to the Pennsylvania State Police. They in turn sent it to us.
Okay. Do you know when you got that information?
Sometime toward, I want to say the end of December. End of December 2022, I believe.
2022.
I believe that's correct.
Now, did you later identify where that information came from?
I had a pretty good idea where it came from.
All right, were you able to later confirm who that came from?
Yeah, for the most part, yes.
All right, who did that come from?
From Giovanni. And his last name, Aguayo, there you go.
Giovanni Aguayo.
Yes.
Tell the jury who Giovanni Aguayo.
He is married to Jeffrey and Karen Spence's other daughter, Carolyn.
All right. As part of your investigation, were you able to put together how Giovanni and his wife, Carolyn, over the last few years had been involved with Carolyn's father and mother, Jeffrey and Karen Spence?
Oh, yeah.
All right. And can you just, as part of background, explain that to the jury, their connection and relationship?
For the most part, I finally started talking to Giovanni on phone and stuff like that. And he had stated that him and Jeff had had a lot of issues in the past. And
Don't tell us what Giovanni's told you.
I think you misunderstood the question.
Rephrase the question.
I just want to know sort of living arrangements, how they were connected. Were you able to figure out how Giovanni and Carolyn were connected to Karen and Jeff, would have been in contact with each other?
several years, no contact.
Okay. And before that, did they live together?
I believe they did at some point.
Okay. For several years?
I don't know exactly how long, but it's a while.
And that would have been in both North Carolina and Virginia?
I believe so.
All right. Now then, the information that you received from in that anonymous form, the content of that, did you examine it?
I did.
And as far as your investigation, did it have any significance to you?
It did.
Why?
It told me I was starting to look in the right place.
All right.
Sorry.
Say it again and louder in the microphone.
It told me I was starting to look in the correct place.
Okay. Based on what was in that information, in the anonymous letter you received, as well as later communication with Giovanni?
Yes.
Okay. Now then, did you issue any arrest warrants after you received that information?
Did not.
All right, what happened after that?
After that, pretty much kept continuing the investigation, trying to, come up with some more stuff.
Okay. What did you do?
I'm trying to remember exactly. I'm sorry.
Tell the jury who David Barnes is.
Yeah, David Barnes, anyway. David Barnes was a guy that used to work for Kirby. Did odd jobs around Kirby's house, rode with him on certain trips and things such as that. David Barnes, I talked to early in the investigation if he knew anything, and he at the time told me he didn't know anything. as it went on, it ended up,
And you can't tell the jury why you wanted to talk to him early on.
because he was with Kirby a lot and he might have an idea what kind of problems was going on and, maybe give me a suspects or something to look into.
Were you able to determine whether or not they worked, that David Barnes worked for Kirby Carpenter?
Yes, he did.
He did?
He did.
Prior to November of 2022, did you know who David Barnes was?
I did.
All right, what'd you know about him?
I've arrested him before for breaking into businesses, churches, things like that.
He broke into a church one time,
He did.
and arrested for it,
Yes.
charged with it.
Yes.
Was he charged with arson?
He was also.
How did that come about? If you don't mind, just tell the jury what he did.
Well, there was a burglary at the Baptist church at Faulkner. And anyway, we had a video of somebody, and it was kind of about like he was hitting a pinata. He was trying to hit the camera to knock the camera down. It was swinging back and forth. Of course, I could tell who it was in the picture, by the, in the camera, could tell his face.
So while he was hitting the camera.
It was videoing. Exactly. It was videoing. After that, I guess he never could get the camera and didn't know where the box was that was recording. So the carpet of the church was set on fire, and it didn't burn but a little spot, and it went out. But he was attempting to burn the church down to conceal his, it being him.
His attempts to hide his identity by removing the camera didn't work.
Yes.
Lighting the carpet on fire didn't work.
Yes.
So, and that was your experience with David Barnes prior to him.
Yeah, the biggest experience with him, yes.
But you knew that he had worked for Kirby.
Yes.
So, you talked to him and he didn't know anything.
Yes. Said he didn't know anything.
Later on, did he come back on the radar?
He did.
As far as the Kirby Carpenter investigation?
He did.
How?
We had multiple break-ins. Prentice County had one, Union County had one, Benton County had one, and we had a number of them. I don't remember exactly how many. A geofence was done, and it showed his phone left from the place in Prentice County, the restaurant in Prentice County, and went straight to his house. But then, of course, I knew who it was then, that it was David Barnes. So at that time, we wrote a warrant for David Barnes' house, searched the house, arrested David Barnes.
Now, he had multiple charges against him for burglary of businesses.
Yes.
And any others, or just business?
I think just businesses, just commercial buildings.
Now, how did it come about that he was asking him about anything related to the death, the killing of Kirby Carpenter?
We just started talking to him again, trying to see if he knew anything else. And some of the MBI agents had interviewed him, and Tommy Mason, investigator with the sheriff's office. At the time, he really didn't care much about talking to me, because I guess he was mad at me for going to prison. But they had talked to him, and after talking to him for a while, he started crying. And
Is this all on video?
yeah, it's all on video. He started crying and everything else, and said that he had asked Caitlin at Kirby's funeral if he needed to know what happened, and she said things got out of control.
I I'm sorry. I stand objected to hearsay.
Yeah, don't say what Caitlin said.
Gotcha.
Did David Barnes say anybody else was present during that conversation?
Jeff Spence.
And after Caitlin said what she said, according to David Barnes, what did Jeff Spence say?
He threatened him.
What's that?
It's a statement against interest.
What's that now?
It's a statement against interest.
Who's saying it though?
Jeff
Y'all,
Spence.
y'all don't approach anyway.
When it mutes like that, it's on them. They're redacting stuff that they're talking about. So, hello, couldn't care less, Gina. And anybody else I missed? Good to see you. But yeah, when that fades out on the volume, that's on their end. I don't know if it's like a sidebar or what, but they don't want us hearing what they're saying. We've missed you too, Karen. More than you understand, I bet. But this has been the main witness so far today. The only one. And he doesn't look like he wants to be there at all. Oh, Monty. Oh, could you imagine? Yeah, we're all here. And for those just coming in, just be warned, we've seen pictures of the body. So,
Back up there and get in position and tell me what testimony you're offering, and then tell me your objection, okay?
Your Honor, the state would submit that David Barnes told investigators that he was at the funeral, he sees Caitlin, he says, you know that you owe me an explanation for what happened, tell me what happened. He says that Caitlin responded with, Kirby and things got out of hand, and Daddy killed Kirby. Do you know the exact?
That sounds pretty much the last part.
And that Jeff Spence was there, and then he says after Caitlin finishes, he says, yes, and if you tell anybody, same thing is gonna happen to you.
And what's your objection?
They have flipped Caitlin. The government has flipped Caitlin. She's a witness tomorrow, I'm told. And Caitlin says that what David Barnes says, she never said. She says that David Barnes is a liar.
But let's back up a minute. Tell me specifically, what is your objection anyway?
That Caitlin has repudiated every bit of what he says and now calls him a liar and says that she never said it and her father never said it. And I don't think that this man ought to be saying it. Bring me David Barnes. Let me talk to him. Okay. Not this witness. This witness wasn't there.
So is your objection hearsay?
Well, yeah, a form of hearsay, yes. And David Barnes is a subpoenaed witness in this case.
I take it as a hearsay objection, right? If this witness is saying what somebody else said out of court, why do you contend it's not hearsay?
Your Honor, Caitlin's response is adopted by Jeff Spence, by his response. That's a statement against interest. That'd be number one.
Statement against interest to who?
To David Barnes.
Back to David Barnes. All right. how is, I don't question that. If David Barnes says, this is what Jeff Spence said, we don't have an issue. It's this witness saying what what David Barnes told him is what the court has a problem with.
You're saying double hearsay.
It's double hearsay, is what I'm saying, and, you could get by one, but I'm gonna sustain the objection as to hearsay as to what David Barnes told the law enforcement officer. If, David Barnes wants to come in and say what Mr. Spence said or what Caitlin Spence said, he can do so, but this witness can't testify as to that.
Thank you.
All right, show the jury back in. Is everybody good?
That's everybody, sir.
All right, you may proceed.
Thank you. When was this in 2023 that y'all are interviewing David Barnes with the cameras rolling, recording it?
November the 2nd, 2023.
November of 2023 is when you interviewed him and he gave information about communications with Caitlin Spence and Jeff Spence.
Correct.
Once you had prior to that, had any arrest warrants been issued?
No.
Okay. After that, what did y'all do?
Had a meeting with the district attorney's office, and we decided it was enough probable cause to have warrants issued for all three of them.
All right. That was done. What else was done? Search warrants?
Search warrants.
For what?
At the time, the search warrants were done, the ones that I think you're talking about were done after they were arrested.
Okay. I'm gonna hand you what's been marked for ID is 15, 16, and 17. What were these search warrants for?
No telephones.
All right. Did you get search warrants for Jeff Spence's telephone?
We did.
All right. And Karen Spence?
Yes.
All right. Were you able to identify any other areas to search not in Mississippi?
Yes.
And where was that?
Virginia,
Where in Virginia?
Saltville area.
All right. Is that where Jeff Spence and Karen Spence lived?
Yes.
All right. And at the point in time prior to the arrest, did you communicate with the Virginia Sheriff's Department?
I did after the fact.
All right. Can you tell me what they did after they received the arrest warrants for Jeff?
I think they watched the place for a few days and tried to catch Mr. Spence away from the residence when they arrested him.
All right. Now, did they conduct a search incident to arrest on him?
They did.
And the property that he had on him was taken into custody?
Yes,
All right. Do you know what that is?
for the most part, I do.
Do you know where that property is?
It's in here.
Do you mind retrieving that?
I do not.
John, if I could have this marked for ID. Did you obtain that? I'm sorry. Did you obtain that from Virginia law enforcement?
Yes.
How?
Investigator Carla Harris, Deputy Dean Key had traveled to Virginia to bring them back when they were up there. Miss Harris transported back stuff from there.
All right. Are you familiar with the contents of what was found on his person at the time he was arrested?
Yes, sir, for the most part.
All right. Can you tell what that is to the jury?
The main thing was a lot of cash wrapped in aluminum foil.
How much cash?
I think 17,000 something dollars.
All right. Wrapped in aluminum foil?
Wrapped in aluminum foil.
All right. So at the time that he was arrested, was there a search warrant that had already been prepared for his home?
No. At the time, my understanding, they had went to pick Karen up at the house. That's the time I talked to one of the Virginia officers. They had asked Karen about getting her phone. She originally said yes and gave them the code to get into her phone. Then she decided, well, maybe I needed to talk to an attorney first. So they stopped. Well, by then they had already went in and spotted bank records and things like that kind of laying around.
In plain view?
Yes.
Okay.
So then they contacted me. I emailed them the information for facts and circumstances to obtain a search warrant for the house.
All right. So they executed a search on the house.
Yes.
From that, were any other search warrants issued by Virginia law enforcement?
Yes.
All right. Can you detail what areas were searched besides the house?
Safety deposit boxes and a storage unit.
All right. How many safety deposit boxes?
I think maybe 3.
Okay. Were there any other search warrants by Virginia law enforcement?
The house, the storage building, the safety deposit boxes. I think that's all.
Okay. Now, once those places were searched, did they obtain any property from those searches?
Yes,
And once they took that did they take it into custody?
they did.
And did they transfer it to Tippett County
Yes,
into your custody?
yes.
All right. If I could have this mark for ID. It is an inventory of Virginia search warrants. All right. Can you review that exhibit? Do you recognize it?
Yes, I do.
Is that an inventory of everything that was transferred from Virginia as a result of the search warrants to the county sheriff's department?
I believe so.
Okay. Now, if you don't mind, if you'll step down and find the A1 storage search warrant property that's in your custody, not on the exhibit, but down here.
Okay.
And in the meantime, I would ask that that be received into evidence, the inventory.
Inventory list,
Yes, sir.
you get it. All right. And you did,
Let's have a mark for ID first. These two boxes are going to be marked for identification only. A1 storage.
a collective exhibit, 2 boxes or one, the exhibit for each box.
Collective exhibit, what number were we on?
We up to 21.
21A and B.
That's that contents of storage shed.
Yes, sir. Now, just so we're clear, the contents in 21A and B. 21. You've examined the contents?
I have.
Same condition as when Virginia transferred it to your custody.
Yeah, for the most part.
Have you
It's
examined,
been open before for everybody to examine it.
that would mean the DA's office, defense,
Yes,
we've all looked and examined
Yes.
the contents.
yes, and I've
Same condition.
sealed them back with my initials when I got through.
All right, do you mind looking at them now? Make sure they still are in the same, substantially the same condition as when you received them from. We're identifying now. Was there anything in A1 storage that was significant to your investigation?
Yeah, a lot of valuable stuff.
And if you don't mind, speak up even though I'm right
A
here.
lot of valuable stuff.
All right. When you say valuable stuff, you mean cash, coins?
Cash, coins, just different collectible stuff that's worth money.
Okay.
Contents of B, anything in here of any,
Pretty much same stuff as in the other.
any objection to admitting the search incident to arrest? All right, we asked it. We're gonna keep this as ID for now. Right. If I can have this marked for ID. Looking at Exhibit S. That's my fault. S22. Do you
Yes,
recognize this?
yes.
What is this?
That's some of the stuff that came from Virginia.
All right. And we've all examined this too.
No, we haven't examined, we haven't opened that one.
Hadn't opened it up.
That one's the one that fell behind the thing in there when we had everything else out.
When we were all looking at it.
Mhm.
But this is First Community.
Yes,
Does that have any significance to you?
I'm assuming that the search warrant was on that also, safety deposit box.
Do you have any record of what this contains?
Yes,
And how do you know?
it has a barcode on the back with numbers that coincide with the items taken.
Does it have a description on that code?
It doesn't on the code, but it does on the page.
It says something right under it or over it.
Cash and other items, you're right.
And who put that code on there?
They did in Virginia.
So that should match up with their records.
It should, yes.
All right. We can have this marked for ID. It's going to be Saltville Branch. Bank of Marion, Saltville Branch.
Bank of Marion.
Are you familiar? I'm sorry. Are you familiar with this exhibit S23?
Yes,
And it's got writing on it.
it does.
Virginia wrote that,
Yes,
transferred it to you from one of their search warrants.
yes,
Your understanding this came from the lockbox in the Saltville branch.
yes,
Have you examined the contents of that?
I have.
As well as all of us?
Yes.
Do you mind opening this and see if it's in substantially the same condition as when you received it from Virginia law enforcement? All right. And you've examined the contents of the exhibits in that lockbox, correct?
I have.
All right. Was there anything, if you don't mind, just for the record, when we open this box, can you describe how the property was marked in evidence bags?
Yeah, They pretty much put a label on every one of them with a barcode that coincides with stuff on the outside of the box and what's on the wall.
Okay. And so you can kind of just with your eyeball see through the clear, transparent evidence bags?
Yes,
With a description and a barcode on the outside?
yes.
All right. Was there anything significant about the contents of S-23?
A lot of cash, coins, silver, gold, a little bit of everything.
Okay. For ID.
Okay.
S-24. It's going to be Bank of Marion Chilway, CHILHOWIE branch. Chilway branch.
One more time on this, man.
CHILHOWIE. All right. Now, as part of your investigation, the Bank of Chilway branch, the Bank of Marion Chilway branch lockbox, were you able to determine when that lockbox was opened, the contract on that lockbox?
December the 2nd, 2022.
December the 2nd, 2022.
Yes,
And were you able to determine the time of Kirby Carpenter's death?
yeah, we believe it was around 7 p.m. or so. The time his body was found, is that what you're asking?
No, when he was killed.
Yeah, around 7 o'clock on 11/30 of 2022 at 7 p.m.
And what day was that?
on Wednesday.
Now, this lockbox was opened at the Chilway branch in Virginia under Jeff and Karen Spence's name
Correct.
on December the 2nd.
Yes,
And what day is that?
Friday.
Friday. All right. Now, do you know what time of day that lockbox was opened?
It was before lunch.
All right. Do you know what time of day that Kirby Carpenter's body was found on December the 2nd?
Somewhere around 12:30 p.m.
So this lockbox was opened even before Kirby Carpenter's body was found,
Correct.
before the 911 call by Caitlin Spence?
Correct.
All right. Was there any, first of all, looking in that exhibit, is that in the same condition as when you received it from Virginia?
Yeah, except for the tape. That's
You examined the contents were personal to Kirby Carpenter in that lockbox?
yes.
Can you see if you can find them in that exhibit?
These items here.
All right. Your Honor, there's two evidence bags that are contained in that exhibit that I would ask that they each be marked as a sub-exhibit.
The
Independent.
main exhibit is S-24. You want them to be S-24A and B?
Yes, Your Honor.
What's gonna be A and what's gonna be B?
A is going to be a check from Kirby Carpenter to David Barnes.
Yeah.
And B,
Give me 1 second. I can't write it back. She can. Okay.
bank receipts. Account number 4235,
Let me just see that.
People's Bank.
Pick it up with it.
All right. Gonna hand you what's been marked for ID. It's S24A. In your years of experience as an investigator, can you think of any value that check would have to Jeff Spence being in the lockbox in Virginia? A check for how much is it?
$90
A $90 check from who?
from Kirby Carpenter to David Barnes.
Written to David Barnes.
Yes.
Can you think of any value that check would have in that lockbox?
I wouldn't think of any value unless somebody's keeping a souvenir or something.
In fact, the only value it would be to David Barnes in the amount of $90.
That's it.
Okay. Now, the exhibit S24B, was that any of the receipts contained in that exhibit important to your investigation?
Yes.
And what did you do when you observed the contents of that exhibit?
Well, it had a receipt in here for the People's Bank, a transaction on 7/27/2022 in the amount of $5,000.
All right, what kind of receipt was that?
A receipt from a withdrawal.
Okay, like ATM withdrawal?
I think it looks to me like it was stamped.
So teller actually stamped it?
That's what it looks like, yes.
And where was that bank?
People's Bank in Ripley.
All right. Do you know where that bank is located?
I do. They've got
Just
3
right-
branches in Ripley.
Okay, 3, it could have been one
Could
of
have been
3.
any of the 3, yes.
All right. Does People's Bank of Ripley have any banks outside of Ripley or Tippah County?
Not outside of Tippah County.
How were you able to confirm that they were from the People's Bank of Ripley?
Well, it's stamped, the People's Bank of Ripley.
All right. Now, in all these other exhibits, did you find any other items that you could match to People's Bank of Ripley?
Yes, there were a lot of bank bands that they wrapped money with that were stamped and had People's Bank of Ripley on them. And there was also a sleeve that you put cash in that had People's Bank of Ripley on it.
All right. Is that sleeve contained in that exhibit?
It is, I see it. It is.
Okay. Clearly identifiable as a bank envelope from People's Bank of Ripley.
Yes.
All right. And the bands, just in general, we're going to talk about it again tomorrow with Virginia,
Yes.
but just generally, how many bank bands from People's Bank in Ripley did you find?
I'm not real sure. 3 or 4, I think. They're all mixed in this. And you can't,
Were some of those bands wrapped around money?
I don't remember if they were or not. I don't remember that.
And then some were not? Do you know?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Whenever I had them, they wasn't.
Okay. These two marked for ID. Your Honor.
Just mark it first, if you don't mind. It's gonna be 25, whatever you want. That'd be 26 down the bottom. Jacket.
All right. 25 and 26.
That's right.
All right, behind you is an exhibit 25,
Yes,
behind you.
yes. Right there.
Have you seen that before?
I have.
And 26.
Yes,
Is that some of the property you received from Virginia law enforcement
it is.
pursuant to a search warrant on Jeff Spence's home?
Yes,
All right. Have you examined the contents?
I have not opened either one of them.
Have not opened either one of them, but in substantially the same condition as when you received it from them?
Yes,
All right,
this one is.
that one is. 25 is not.
No,
All right. Now, as part of your investigation, can you tell the jury what the connection between the two exhibits is and where those items were found? And then what you did after they came into your custody?
this is a jacket that was found under the bed at Jeff Spence and Karen Spence's rent house in Virginia. There's a shotgun, a pump shotgun that was found wrapped, stuck inside of the jacket. Both were underneath the bed.
Okay. And they were boxed separately, although they were found, the jacket was wrapped around the gun.
Yes,
That's your understanding?
yes.
All right. Now, what kind of gun is it?
It's a 12 gauge pump shotgun.
Did it have any rounds in it?
I don't think it did.
And when you received it, did you have a photo of it?
We did.
And based on what it looked like, did y'all try to do any testing of that gun?
We did. It had what appeared to be soil on the barrel of it. We
Let's
took-
back up first. Did y'all look for any biological evidence on it?
Yeah, I requested that.
Was any
Yeah.
blood or anything found on it?
No,
All right. Any fingerprints?
nah, I don't know if they checked fingerprints or not.
It was wrapped in the,
Yes,
all right. And so, but you did see mud on it.
yes.
Did you compare what that mud looked like to the mud that was on Kirby Carpenter's jeans?
What's that?
They are trying to come through the back door on some testing that was negative, okay? They tried to have FBI.
Oh, y'all come here. Come here.
You guys can think of a name for what we can call for a sidebar. Come up with something good, something to do around my channel name. You guys are good at coming up with stuff.
May I proceed?
You may.
You testified earlier about the conditions of the home. We've seen photos of those conditions.
Yes.
Did you want to try to see if you could test the mud on the gun to see whether you could find out whether it was from Mississippi or not?
I did.
Who did that for you?
The FBI
Were they able to confirm that, or?
come back inconclusive, said it wasn't enough material on the barrel of the shotgun.
So inconclusive on the test conducted by the FBI at Quantico?
Yes.
All right. But you did observe mud on the gun?
Yes.
All right. So other than the tape on that exhibit 26, I believe,
Yes.
with the gun, that should show where it was sent off to FBI lab,
Yes.
it's in the same condition.
It is, as far as I can tell.
Okay. These other items, was that related to your DNA swabs
I think it was. I think that's scales.
sent back and forth to the lab?
I think so. That's what it looks like.
Just an article that was found on the scene?
Yeah, that's, I think that's the pullover that was found by the pond up on top of the hill.
Okay.
Ended up, it wasn't blood on it. I don't know what it was.
Didn't result in?
No, it didn't. Not anything.
This sealed evidence bag,
Yes.
what does that contain?
Kirby's jacket, I believe.
The clothing that he had on,
Yes, the jacket, I think.
the jacket that he had
I believe so.
All right. If I could have this marked for ID. This is going to be lockbox. Take it from Cadence. Caitlin. All right, the last exhibit, S27 for ID. What are the contents of this exhibit? Have you examined them before?
Yes,
Was this pursuant to a search warrant?
it was.
All right, and the contents of that exhibit are from Cadence Bank in Boonville,
Yes,
a lockbox
yes,
in Caitlin and Karen Spence's name?
yes.
All right. Now, have you examined the contents?
I think we looked through it.
And is it in the same condition
Yes.
as when y'all took it into custody from the bank?
No, it's been resealed, but
Yeah, because we've all looked at it.
Yes.
Examined it. But other than that, substantially the same condition.
it is.
Now, were there similar items in that lockbox to what was found in the lockboxes in Virginia?
Yes,
And in those items, that property, that quality and nature of that property, is that what Kirby Carpenter dealt with as
yes,
his profession?
yes.
All right. And did you see items similar in nature in the home when you went and looked?
I did.
Court's indulgence.
Are you getting close to stopping?
I think I'm done. I just wanted the search warrants on the phones, I would ask they be received into evidence. That's going to be exhibits. The telephones, 15, 16, and 17.
2 search warrants on Jeff Spence's phone, 1 search warrant on Dad's phone. Any objection? All right, that'll be admitted. 15, 16, and 17. Attend the witness.
Tender the witness.
All right, we're gonna take a short break. It'll be a good time to take one. Just take about 10, 15-minute break. Let the bailiff know when y'all ready, and we'll get back at it, okay? We'll be in recess.
Oh, my. Breaks. I like that one. 79. There we go. It's Webster's sidebar. I don't know. Right. I agree. And from what I read, they're out. And from what Dizzy was telling us earlier, or this morning, yeah, it's kind of weird. I'll take a something. I will. I'll use my co-pilot. My co-pilot will help me come up with something to say. That's what I use, by the way. And then I just save them and I put them on a notepad. And I can just copy and paste stuff. Ah, Dreamweaver. That takes me back. That's what Eric used to call me. No, I'm not sure what's going on with them, but they do not seem prepared to me at all. I thought it was just me, but yes. But see, things like this I just made with Copilot and then I saved them and I can copy and paste it whenever I want to. But yeah, I don't know. The state's just kind of rubbing me the wrong way on this, and I'm a little worried about the jury getting lost too. And we haven't, other than the defense objecting to stuff, we haven't heard them yet to see how they are. Right. There has been. You're right. It's crazy. I don't know. I picked between this trial or the trial in Tennessee, and maybe I picked wrong. I'm not sure. Hello, Janet. Oop. Monty, are you having any troubles with Substack? Hello, hello. Smoke 'em if you got 'em, right? Okay, well, Mo is having problems. I don't know what to do to help her. I'm going to try it. You are? Is it, when you open it, is it closing right back on you? Or going black? Yes, she did. Georgia was very prepared. I knew you were. Okay, I don't know if Mo's listening in or not, but I'll tell her you are. Yeah, it was on the phone, Monty. She's even uninstalled the app and reinstalled it, and it's still doing it. So I didn't have a problem. Mine went straight through, and I was able to look at stuff. So I don't know. So what did everybody do at lunch break? Yours did it too, Janet. Yeah, she can't get on it at all. Oh no. That's not good, Julie. Yeah, my app seems to be okay, so, but well, I see that Julie and Monty got on it because it tells me you did. In 79. So I don't know. I don't know if it's a certain phone that's doing it or what. Okay. Now, it must be an issue with a phone, a brand of phone or something, because now see, Mo has iPhone. And I have an Android, so. And mine worked. So, I don't know. Okay. But it's good to know now ahead of time that there may be a problem. I don't know. But this, anyway, back to this. I don't think the prosecution has brought much to the table for me to say, yes, he's guilty. I don't know. Oh, no, Mo. I don't think it's because you're on your phone too much. That's what I hear, Bart. I don't know. I don't have an iPad. I use my computer. Okay, see, I'm not the only one. All right, Julie. I haven't heard much of anything yet. But I think they're just using him to bring all the evidence in that they can. Sorry, I'm rubbing my knees. Yeah, it is strange. Okay, yeah, I can see that point. But other than that, they haven't proven anything else. Because what they found all this stuff in Virginia. Okay, see, Mo even says nothing stands out to her, so I don't know. I tried looking to see if I could find a makeup of the jury or anything, and I don't know. Right, that's what I'm thinking. Because they're only taking certain things out of those boxes. And it's evidently it's things that he collected. When they first had him talking about being a coroner, I thought that's what he was going to be there for. I don't know. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, that's the things that he dealt in, though, and had a bunch of money. Yes, and yes, and that they left the day before. I agree with that. I don't know, but their style, I guess, just is not something I'm a big fan of at all. I don't know. Could be. Sorry. See, and they're making me tired. Yeah, see, Mo, I don't know. You've done all the things I would say to do, so I don't know. Hello, Anthony. Welcome in. Don't see why they would do this to Kirby. I live 20 minutes from him. He would literally give the shirt off his back to help someone. He wasn't greedy at all. He didn't sound like he was greedy or anything. He sounded like he would have helped her parents. I just don't know. Yeah. Oh, here we go. We'll get back to it. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. But it's nice to have you here, Anthony. If you have any other input, it would be nice. We would appreciate that.
All right, everybody ready? No problem with court's instructions. You may cross-examine for the defense.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Chris,
Yes,
you cannot say where these items came from unless the receipts you identified and the check you identified, okay? Everything else, could have bought it from me,
could have,
could have bought it from another store,
could have,
could have bought it from an auction.
could have,
Well, did.
not probable.
Do you see in box, whichever one is 302, all the auction numbers?
There is some of that in there.
There sure is. And that would be legitimate purchase.
Yes,
Well, if it wasn't bought at an auction, but went and bought it from a metal dealer in Memphis or a metal dealer in Washington, D.C., you can't distinguish that, can you?
I can't know.
Well, no, they who can? Who can? I'm asking you, who can?
I don't
Do
know.
we have him as a witness?
I don't know.
Everything in all of these boxes could be the product of legitimate business, commercial dealings, couldn't it?
Could be.
And you're not saying just because they were in a lockbox, just because it had items in a lockbox, doesn't make it illegal, does it?
No, sir.
Isn't it true that a lot of what's here belongs to Caitlin Spence?
Some of the storage unit stuff does.
Matter of fact, and you left a lot of storage unit stuff, or you didn't, I'm sorry. I'm not, don't mean to confuse you with Smith County, Virginia. A lot of stuff was left there. Clothing, furniture, are you aware of that?
Left where? I'm sorry.
In the storage unit.
Oh, I don't know. It's possible.
Well,
Up there, I don't know.
You're gonna have those people here tomorrow, right?
Yes, they're supposed to be here.
I'll make sure I talk to them about that. Now, you've got an item, Kirby had a way of writing a check. He owes you money, he writes you a check, you want cash, you give him the check back and he gives you the cash.
That's what I understood.
That's what this check appears to be, right?
That's what I would figure it would be.
Well, I mean, that check has no value to Jeff Spence, right?
No,
And his possession of it could be nothing more than an inadvertent grab of something on a legitimate business deal. Because he did business with Kirby. You knew that, didn't you?
no, I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No,
Did Caitlin tell you that?
no, didn't tell me that.
All right. Well, there's no reason for Jeff Spence to take a check that has no value to him, right?
I don't think so. Wouldn't think so. I wouldn't think so.
Okay, thank you. And the same thing would be true with whatever bank deposits there are, bank slips, right?
The
Doesn't
bank
have any
slip,
value
yeah, the
to
bank
Jeff
slips
Spence,
could be, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that could be something.
Could have just inadvertently ended up in Jeff Spence's possession because of just grabbing in a very cluttered house. Did you tell me before previous pretrial hearings that this place was cluttered?
Yes,
Receipts,
yes,
papers, everywhere is what you told me.
yes.
Every room, right?
Yeah. There's some worse than others, yes,
Particularly the safe room.
yes.
It would be easy, don't you think, to inadvertently pick up something that I don't really want. Did you find the bags that Kirby would put stuff in when Jeff would buy it?
I did not,
A container, a box or a container? No?
no. I'm not sure what you're asking.
If I bought some coins or some gold coins or some silver dollars from Kirby, he's got to put them in something,
Oh, yes, sir.
not just stuff them in my pocket.
Yes.
You didn't find any containers? Or Virginia didn't find any containers and put them in the boxes?
I don't guess.
So
I don't guess they did.
you didn't find any?
No.
All right. Let's talk about David Barnes. Just make sure I've got it laid out for the jury. David Barnes got in trouble some number of years ago.
Yes, sir.
And because of the trouble that he got into some number of years ago, he is facing what we call the big habitual in Mississippi.
I don't know about the big. I know he's facing habitual.
I'm going to ask you about it then.
Okay.
You understand that you can be charged in Mississippi as a career criminal, habitual offender, if you have at least 2 prior convictions.
Yes,
David has at least 2 prior convictions.
he does.
And in Mississippi, if one of those 2 prior convictions is a crime of violence, then he's not facing the little habitual, he's facing the big habitual.
Yes.
And the big habitual carries with it
Life.
life.
Yes,
So
sir.
as it stands right now, and if David comes testify tomorrow, Friday or Saturday or Sunday, he's facing the big habitual, life imprisonment, and he's been facing it ever since you got him in 2003, right?
I'm not familiar with a violent crime he was charged with. I mean, I may have just
Arson.
arson. Yeah, that's true. I haven't thought about that.
Arson is defined in Mississippi law as a crime of violence.
You're correct.
And that opens the door up and could slam shut on him.
You're
Unless he
correct.
sings like a bird.
Yes, sir. You're correct.
Now, let's talk about whether he has sung like a bird, all right? When Kirby was killed in 2022, David was talked to by you.
Yes, sir.
You interviewed him.
I did.
I don't know anything. That's what he told you.
Correct.
You then, in 2023, brought him in again. Talked to him again about the same topic.
Yes, sir.
And he told you, I don't know anything. Right?
I don't remember talking to him 3 times,
You
but
talked to him twice in 23, Chris, and you talked to him
I
once
may
in
have.
22.
I may have.
Okay. Told you a second time, I don't know anything. I don't have anything to tell you, right?
I guess, yeah.
And then you got to investigating 4 burglaries in Faulkner. I don't know the other places, I forget. 4 businesses in Tippah County. And lo and behold, it's the career criminal at it again. And you brought him in on November the 2nd or 3rd of 2023. And he'd had enough, and he wanted to come up with something that would help him, right?
I don't know that.
Well, that's when he started telling you about this funeral business, right?
He told MBI and Tommy Mason about it. He didn't tell me.
He told the investigative team.
Investigators, yes.
Yeah, he told the investigative team, guess what I've got for you? Even though he had an opportunity in December of 22 to say it, once earlier in 23, a second time in 23, and only after he got arrested and he knows he's facing life, as he comes up with the story, right?
He'd come up with it after he was arrested, but I don't think that was the reason he told it.
Y'all arrested him in November of 23, right?
Yes,
And that's when he came up with the story about the funeral home statement.
that's correct.
You've been working on this case since December of 22, right?
Yes,
Still investigating it, right?
for the most part, yeah, but not
You-
going over stuff.
Well, you're the case agent, or you told me once before you're the case agent.
I am.
You're still the case agent, right?
Yes,
And you know that Caitlin Spence has recently given a statement saying to y'all, when I say y'all, I mean the investigative team, that what David Barnes says was said in the funeral home is a lie.
that's correct.
So you've got one witness saying X and another witness saying, no, it's not X, it's Y. No, it's not true. You've got competing witnesses. Am I right?
Yes, you're
Who
correct.
do we believe? Who do we believe?
I believe David.
We believe David?
I do.
No, you believe David in spite of the circumstances where he makes a statement telling you for over a year that he didn't know anything.
Yeah, if you watch the video,
I've watched every dadgum one of them. Yes.
based on his video, I believe he's telling the truth.
You think he's telling the truth in his videos about Kirby's meth deal?
I don't know. I've never heard that
You thought he
before.
was telling the truth. You think he was telling the truth about that Kirby's meth dealing?
I don't know. I mean, I've never heard that on Kirby. Never.
You heard it from David?
Well, yeah, I heard it during his testimony that time.
You heard it in your, you got about 10 videos, and I've watched every one of them.
Yes, sir.
And he talks about meth dealing, right? He talks about gun dealing, right?
I believe I remember the gun dealing part.
Yeah. Stolen. He had folks who wanted to do him harm.
Possibly. Well, evidently he did, or he wouldn't have been killed.
Evidently he did.
Yes.
It's not just possible. Evidently he did. You know of other instances of threats to Kirby?
I don't.
How about attempts on his life?
No.
How about his stepbrother shooting at him?
I don't know that about that.
You don't know anything about that?
I do not.
Let's talk a minute about December the 2nd. You get a phone call on December the 2nd compelling you to go to County Road 600, right?
I did.
You go. You're there all afternoon conducting an investigation.
Yes.
And you described what you found with respect to where Kirby was, how he was covered, and then you expressed an opinion that I didn't object to. You gave an opinion that it appeared that whoever killed Kirby covered him up because they didn't want to face what they'd done.
Correct.
Looked like to you, did it look like it was an act of passion?
I don't know. It's possible, but I don't know.
Well, if somebody would go cover him up so they didn't have to see him, wouldn't that imply that, in your opinion, that culprit that killed him was going to be around?
Yes.
Well, who lived in the house?
At the time, Caitlin, and prior to that was Jeff and Karen.
Well, but we know from your investigation that Jeff and Karen went back to Virginia on November the 29th.
That's what Caitlin said.
Well, do you have anything to contradict that?
The phone was turned off during the time frame in question.
Say it again.
Jill's phone was not working for the most part.
Well, Karen's
Never
phone was
questioned.
working fine.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean Jeff was with her.
Well, are you now reverting back to the notion that he never went to Virginia?
I don't know.
If he didn't go to Virginia on November the 29th, please tell these folks how he got to Virginia, because we know he was there.
I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know.
You don't know. There's a lot about this case that you don't know.
Correct.
Don't you agree? A lot about this case that the state of Mississippi doesn't know.
That's correct.
And you've chosen him to be accused.
I haven't chosen anyone.
Well, you don't know if he was present on November the 30th. What's the proof? What's the proof that Jeff Spence was in Mississippi, Tippah County, on the evening of November the 30th? What's the proof?
Caitlin's going to testify that he is. He was.
Other than that, because we've got problems with that.
Okay.
Other than that, what's the proof?
Don't have proof he was there exactly.
You don't.
But
have
I don't know
proof.
where he was because his
You
phone
don't
was
have any
disabled.
proof, Mr. Chris McCallister, that he was even there at all, do you?
It's going to be, like I said, that's what we have.
What's the proof that Jeff Spence went into this house? There is no proof.
In the witch house, I'm sorry, Kirby's.
Kirby's.
He didn't have to go in. He had been staying there.
Well, he had gone home. Are you saying that he had independent access to that house?
Oh, I don't know if he did or not. I'm assuming he did if he stayed there 4 months.
You know, Caitlin says no, okay? He didn't have keys to that house. You don't have any proof to the contrary.
No, I don't. I do not.
To the extent that you want to take a lifetime worth of dealing by Jeff Spence, because he was a dealer just like Kirby was, and try to make it into some sort of criminal activity. You don't have any proof that he went into Kirby's safes, do you?
No.
When you went there on the second, you went through the entire house, right?
Yes,
Including the safe room.
I did.
Saw all this paper clutter, trash, but you saw nothing in terms of an attempt to go into any of the safes, right?
No, not at that time, no.
Well, what are you saying? You didn't notice it? You noticed it at that time? Or you are saying,
There was no force to the safes, any of them.
no,
None of them, no force.
they were all locked?
As far as I know, they were locked.
Well, I've got notes here from some hearings back that the only person who had access to those safes was Mary Jane Jones. Did you dispute that?
Caitlin did too.
I don't have that.
Caitlin changed the combination on them,
Well, we'll talk. She's gonna be here tomorrow, right?
correct? I don't know what day she'll be here though.
Say it again?
She'll be here one day, I'm not sure when.
Okay. We'll talk to her about that. You have no evidence at all that there was any force to enter that house?
No,
No. Didn't look like the door had been pried?
no, sir, did not.
Mr. Bill, how could you stand on the other side of the podium closer to the microphone?
I'm sorry.
Move the microphone, whichever one is easiest.
Well, I screwed the microphone up yesterday, so I don't think I need to be touching it. Is this better?
Yes.
Is it better? I'm sorry. When you were investigating what went on at the evening of November the 30th, that's what y'all think it is, anyway. It's what you said ever since I've been in this case. It's November the 30th. You said there were some things about Caitlin that didn't make sense to you as a result of your investigating that situation.
Yes,
And Caitlin, we know, lived there at that time and had been living there for 2 or 3 years.
yes,
And her parents have been visiting, but they don't live there. They have their own home in Virginia.
yes,
There were some other things about Caitlin's response to your investigation that you found questionable. Am I right?
yes, I think.
Who would have knowledge of where the surveillance system was all connected?
Guess anyone that had access to the home.
Well, just because I have access to my daughter's house doesn't mean I know anything about all of her technology. Same would be true for just about anybody. You don't know of any evidence that would indicate that Jeff Spence had any knowledge about surveillance system, do you?
No evidence to show that, no, but he had access to it.
I know you have an opinion, but you don't have any evidence.
No,
Okay. Who would have access to this little technological device that they found behind a box somewhere on February the 3rd?
anybody that was staying in the house.
If they knew where it was, right?
I'm assuming. We were told to look the place that I would think it logically was, which was up there behind the TV in the living room.
Yeah.
So
It was not there.
it was not there.
It was behind boxes in the safe room amongst all the clutter, right?
That's correct.
And whatever else was awry with respect to the surveillance system or the technology systems in that house. Anything else?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
And didn't you say something about when Caitlin gave the statement on December the 2nd that she talked about climbing a particular hill?
Yes,
And you found that to be highly questionable, didn't you?
yes.
And we want to describe for the jury why we find it highly questionable. I agree with you. I've been there. I've seen the house. I've been in the house, and I have seen that hill. And tell the jury why you find it highly questionable.
I wouldn't even try to go up it.
Why?
It's very steep. It's more or less, it'd be described more to me like a small mountain instead of a hill.
And it's the incline is basically just slightly off from straight up.
Yes,
And isn't it, this is behind Jeff's house, behind Kirby's house. And as you try to go up that hillside is covered with sapling pine trees.
it is.
When I say covered, I don't mean one here and one over there. It's just, you have to fight to get through them, right?
Once you start going up, it looked like it had a lot of trees and bushes and things.
And that's what Caitlin says that she was doing Friday morning, November the 2nd, before she found Kirby.
Correct.
And you found that to be highly questionable,
Definitely.
right? You've had access to her phone. You have access to Kirby's phone. And from my previous talks with you in situations like this, you conceded that Kirby and Caitlin were not on good terms.
They argued a lot.
They verbally fought a lot.
Yes,
And I think the word that you used the last time I was asking you questions is that their relationship at best was rocky.
yes.
Am I quoting you
I
correctly?
think that's correct.
Do you know the source of their animosity between each other?
I do not.
Didn't Kirby have a reputation in the community, not just as a drug dealer, not just as a coin dealer, but also a reputation for, I come home when I get good and ready?
Yeah, I think
the
from
last.
what I can gather from her.
Well, in my notes that I have here laying in front of me.
Yeah.
You said that he had a reputation for going missing. In other words, see him this morning, but may not see him for 2 or 3 days.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember using
I
the
really
term
honestly don't
going
remember
missing?
that.
Well, you do acknowledge, though, what I said to you a few minutes ago, that Kirby had a reputation for going and coming as he saw fit.
I think he was independent enough that he was going to do what he wanted to do on it, regardless of what anybody else thought.
And you know what his response would be if Caitlin objected to that?
What's that?
I'm asking you if you know.
I don't know. I'm sure it was some conflict in there.
Say it
I'm
again.
sure it was conflict in there.
How about violence?
I don't know about that either.
You don't know. You don't know if he ever shut her up by, don't ask me questions like that. You don't know.
I don't know that for sure.
I have other folks coming.
That's fine.
We'll get to it. We have in front of you, we have in front of you a series of boxes that I take it we're going to go through tomorrow. And we have warrants that get us into where this information came from.
Yes.
But But just so the jury understands, just what's in these boxes today doesn't mean what was in the bank boxes when they were opened. You know what I'm saying?
I don't,
The product of the searches that were done in Virginia are in these boxes. But those searches were like in 2023 or 24.
2023, I think.
23?
I think that's right.
Well, you know, we've got a storage unit here that was opened as Caitlin came back to North Carolina. That's what the storage unit was for, to accommodate her stuff. And we have bank boxes from two other, we have cardboard boxes here from two other bank boxes. And they were opened in late 22.
Okay.
Just because they contained all this stuff a year later doesn't mean that those items went into those bank boxes on the day that they were opened. I'm correct about that.
Yeah, you're correct.
You can't prove otherwise.
No, I can't.
In other words, if I open a bank box today, I could be doing it simply in anticipation of needing it over the next few months.
Correct.
And I could be putting stuff in there as I'm accumulating it.
Correct.
And we know from the bank records that after both of these bank boxes were opened, that Jeff Spence, over the course of 2023, went back into each of them multiple times.
I can't remember.
Six times as to 11 and 7 times as to 302. You don't disagree with me?
I'm not going to disagree. I don't remember.
He's asking.
Come on up here.
Oh, there it is. This is really strange and off. Yeah, it does, Julie. I just don't get it. But the defense seems to be more prepared, and somebody said that. I agree. And what the state is hanging their hat on, I really have no clue. I don't know. Newton tell Mr. McCallister here does not want to be here.
John,
You need to go back.
I think so.
Appreciate it. Thank you. I'm not recalling now what my last question was, so if you don't recall, I'll just move on. Do you recall?
I think it was about the dates on the,
Oh, the
bank
number of
boxes.
times.
Yeah. Without reviewing one of them, I really can't answer. I don't remember.
I can give you generally the range of dates, but I can't, off the top of my head, can't give you exact dates, but I can give you generally the time frame of the dates that he went back in. But I'll move on, Judge. I'll move on.
Okay.
When you were investigating the scene on December the 2nd, 2022, you found Kirby's body and you investigated all of that. And you found the key fob to Kirby's truck was in his pocket,
It was.
along with $2,868.
I believe that's correct.
That's the correct amount. Well, that's the reported amount. I'm not sure, I know I wasn't there, all right? Am I right that this truck that Kirby drove had a self-locking feature to it?
I don't know. My truck's not that new. I don't know.
You don't, okay, you don't
I don't know.
You don't know the answer to that,
I don't know the answer to
whether
that.
they're self-locked or not, after 5 seconds,
Okay.
all right? But if it did, for somebody to get in that truck, they would have to take the key out of Kirby's pocket, open the truck, and then put the key back, right?
I believe so.
But you don't know if there's any proof that actually happened.
No, I don't.
Okay. Do you know if anything at all was taken from the truck? I don't mean the satchel, because you don't know whether the satchel was in the truck or not. I'm talking about anything else.
I don't know.
Didn't you tell me once before that the truck was just as cluttered with stuff as the house was?
It was.
Easily to pick up something that you didn't intend to pick up if I'm buying some silver dollars from Kirby. Wouldn't it?
I don't know.
Say it again?
I don't know. I can't answer that.
Can't
That would
or
be
won't?
speculating.
Say it again?
That would be speculating.
Give me a minute to catch up on my notes here. Any idea who disabled the camera system?
I have no idea. Somebody that had access to the house.
Would you have to have access to the house to do what was done to deactivate the camera system?
I believe so.
Couldn't do it from outside.
No.
It would have to have, it would have to be somebody who could get into the house
Correct.
without having, doing any violence to the house, any obvious break-ins.
No.
You didn't see any such thing,
No.
okay? And I'm told, I'm listening, that Kirby could access his security system on his phone,
I believe so.
okay? Is there any way to tell that he did that day?
When the phone dump was done on his phone, I think it had it showed where somebody had accessed it maybe in June. And then it showed the day that me and Josh Bateman opened it up trying to access it to see if anything was on there. Rest of the time was completely gone off of there.
What would make it completely gone?
I'm assuming somebody got in there and erased all that.
When you say got in there, got in where?
His phone,
Somebody, you could do that in his phone.
evidently, to cut all those off, because I wouldn't think someone with that much stuff would not have his camera working since June. So that, to me, that tells me somebody,
Well, as cautious as
Clean.
Kirby apparently tried to be with guns everywhere, I don't think he would go 6 months with no access to a security system.
no, I wouldn't think so either.
Say it again?
I wouldn't think he'd go that long either.
I wouldn't think so. Do you remember when you were interviewing Caitlin, she was talking about what was being taken from the house after the night of finding Kirby's body, and the next day, and the next day?
I just remember there's a lot of stuff being taken.
And it wasn't just one person taking it.
No, I think it was several people taking it.
As a matter of fact, if I'm remembering correctly, Kate's always had a lawyer, and I don't get to talk to her directly. But if I remember correctly, she described what was happening with Kirby's possessions on December the 2nd, Friday night, December the 3rd, Saturday, and December the 4th, Sunday, as shit show Sundays, shit show weekend. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that comment.
Yeah, you remember that specific language, right?
I remember that comment, yeah.
Okay, and she was referring to people just wholesale hauling out his possessions, right?
I think there were some items taken from there.
Not just some items. We're not talking about a handful. They were being taken out en masse, were they not?
According to her.
According to Caitlin.
According to her, correct.
Yes. And you know who those people taking it out were?
I think Kirby's mother's supposed to got some stuff out. She told me that the stuff that she took out of there was her stuff that was he had holding for her.
I could claim it as my stuff.
I mean, you'll have to ask her that. That's what she told me.
Well, I understand. But Kirby's mother was actively taking stuff out of the safes and putting them in her car.
I believe so.
And she had helpers. Todd Michael,
Maybe. I don't remember that.
her husband.
Yeah, maybe. I don't remember that. I'm not going to say it.
I'm told that her husband objected to it. He didn't think it was right.
Oh, I don't know.
You don't know about that?
I don't.
All right. You do recognize that just like Kirby's mother is the grandmother of the little boy, Jeff and Karen are the grandparents of the baby.
Yes.
Okay. If one grandparent was hauling stuff of value out of the house, might it be a reasonable response? But the other grandparent would say, well, if I don't do something, my granddaughter not going to have anything. That would be a reasonable response, wouldn't it?
Possibly.
You went to the house on January the 9th, and I'm not seeing in my notes here what exactly you were out there for. Tell me again on January the 9th. You were called out.
Let me look back and make sure I'm telling you correctly. Because I was at the house multiple times over a period of a year. The blood on the stairs.
You went out because there was a drop of blood on the stairs.
Yes.
That's what I see this picture of when you're talking about luminol.
Yes.
We're going to talk about the drop of blood on the stairs, then we're going to talk about luminol. You remember when, well, let me back up a second. This drop of blood on the stairs is further than from here to the other side of this room from where y'all claim Kirby was shot outside.
It's not that far, no.
Well, let's talk about that. The stairs that we're talking about come out of the foyer, the entryway to this home.
Yes.
The front door.
Yes.
People rarely use, as I'm told.
Yes.
And this is a large house. And you go up a flight of stairs and you make a turn, you go up another flight of stairs, you make another turn, then you go into bedrooms.
Correct.
And when Jeff and Karen were there for that period of time when they were helping out. That's where they were housed.
That's what I understand, yes.
And it wasn't uncommon for Towns, when he was there, got along really well with Jeff, to stay upstairs. Are you aware of that?
Yes, I think that one side room was his room
Side room from the
from
big room.
upstairs.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the stair where the blood spot, and we're talking something not any bigger than
It is very small.
not as big as my little pinky.
No, sir.
All right. My pinky nail, I should say.
Probably about the size of a match head.
About the size of a match head.
Yes.
And you don't know the source of that blood.
I know the source of it, but I don't know. I mean, I know whose blood it is, but I don't know how it got there.
But you don't know if he cut himself shaving.
I do not.
He had a nosebleed,
No, I don't know
whatever.
that. I don't know that.
Okay. And when I was out there, Miss Jones allowed me and other lawyers, and you,
Yes.
others, to come go through the house. I asked you to just tell me point blank. I said, what's the connection between what's up there and what happened out there? And I'm going to quote what you said.
Okay.
You said, I don't know. And you still don't know.
No, I don't.
You can't make any connection with it at all, can you? I just want the jury to understand that the blood you're talking about is completely removed from this drop of blood, right?
Talking about what luminol versus the drop.
Say it again.
What was luminol versus the drop?
No, I'm talking about where the drop was, that site, on that stair step, almost at the top, completely removed from what's outside.
Oh, from
Kirby
a crime
side.
scene. Yeah, it was away from it.
Oh, away from it, quite a bit away from it.
Yes.
Yes. And there's no blood trail. You didn't find any blood from the entryway to the garage where you think Kirby was shot, into the house, to the stairs, up the stairs to that drop. There is no trail.
There was, in there by the sink, there was luminol activated right there. And there was a wall for some reason that had been repainted in a couple of spots. But I didn't test the luminol from there because usually a lot of times I think luminol will, once you sprayed, it's hard to really read, for sure what it is.
Well, we're fixing to talk about luminol, but my point is you didn't see anything that you could test to make
No.
a connection between upstairs
I
and
did
outside
not.
of the garage.
I did not.
Didn't find anything.
No, sir.
Okay. Now, this luminol business. Luminol will react to a lot of things, right?
Bodily fluids mainly, yeah.
Well, if I've got a
Or
3 or 4 year,
proteins,
say it again.
proteins and bodily fluids and stuff.
I've got a 3 or 4 year old kid that he's trying to make it up the stairs and doesn't make it, and ends up messing up his pants. What's on the stair step would react to luminol.
It should.
Yeah, just like blood,
Yeah, it should.
right?
Should.
Same thing would be true if my dog had an error.
Yes,
It would react to luminol.
it would.
Luminol reacts to a lot of household products, right?
I believe so.
So just because you've got this luminol spot that the jury's going to see when the evidence goes with them, doesn't mean anything in terms of the facts of this case. Would you agree?
It was very close proximity to the blood drop.
Oh, well, I know the luminol was right there on
It
the
was right
same
next
stair
to
step,
it, correct.
but that could be from
It could be.
anything.
It could
Matter
be.
of fact, luminol will react to I was going to varnish my steps. Luminol will react to varnish.
No, I'm not familiar with that, but I have no reason to doubt you.
Well, don't, because I researched it, all right? I'll send it to you. I may be getting close to the end, Chris.
Good.
Yeah. You're sick of sitting up there, I know.
Chair's kind of bad.
Yeah, back hurting?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Does Ripley still have first Monday?
It does.
Is that still every Monday?
Well, it's usually the weekend before the first Monday of every month.
That often?
Yes.
And I know I went once when it was Labor Day weekend, and quite impressive, actually. And that's still a big day, right?
It is for some people. Yeah.
When you go through all of this stuff that you say was taken out of the storage unit in Virginia and the bank boxes, you do that without any real knowledge of Jeff's own activities as a businessman.
Yeah, I don't know that.
You told me you didn't know that he was into the same stuff that Kirby was into.
No, that's what I just said. I did not know
You
that.
did not know that, okay. Anything else about him that you didn't know? Did you know he was a beekeeper?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of messages about bees.
You know how many hives he had?
I have no idea.
A lot. And beekeepers, make money from harvesting honey.
They do.
They also make money from selling bees.
Yes.
You knew that?
Yes. Know a little bit about it, not much.
Okay. Did you know he was also a registered German Shepherd breeder, AKC registered?
No, did not.
Did you know that he had actually brought a litter of puppies to his first Monday? Sold every one of them.
Okay.
Do you know that he was also a landscaper and a
No,
horticulturist?
did not.
Well, we'll get into that more later from other witnesses. I'm just wanting you to understand that just because there's money in these boxes doesn't mean that it came from somebody other than his own labor.
Objection. Commentary, not question.
I'm sorry, Judge. As to the gun that's behind you, that's a 12 gauge or a 20 gauge?
It's 12 gauge, I believe.
It's a 12 gauge.
I think it is.
And you told Mr. Ben Creekmore that from your estimation of what you saw, you thought the distance between Kirby's shooter and Kirby would be about the distance between, you said, me and you, meaning
Yes,
Chris
I did.
and Ben.
I did.
And am I about the same place that Ben was?
Yes, I think so.
So you think this distance is from your experience as an investigator, what you think the distance was from the barrel of the gun?
More of my experience of shooting shotguns.
Say it again.
It's more of my experience in shooting shotguns on how far it spreads out and things such as that.
Just let me finish, okay? And I'm wanting the record to, I don't want this case to go to another court and we be talking about question marks. I want a record, all right? And you said from you to me, and I'm saying to you back, I estimate that to be 15 feet.
That's about what I estimate it to be.
That's what you estimate. You agree with me?
Yes,
So you think the shooter was, barrel of the gun in the shooter's hands was at least 15 feet from Kirby.
I believe so.
And you've talked, from my notes, you talked about pattern And you estimate this to be a 12 gauge shotgun from what? What are you looking at when you say that?
At the time, I counted the pellets, and I really can't remember how many I counted. And then we looked them up to see how many pellets was in a buckshot, and it was about the same amount that I found in the holes in Kirby.
Wouldn't a 12 gauge shotgun be powerful enough to make exit wounds?
He had a lot of clothes on,
But there were no exit wounds.
had a heavy jacket on.
There were no exit wounds.
No, none that I know of. I never did take his jacket off or look behind.
And wouldn't a 12 gauge shotgun have a wider pattern than a gun of a smaller gauge?
Just depends on how far back you are. The further back you are, the more it spreads out.
We've agreed on 15 feet.
Yes.
And I'm asking you, as an investigator and a coroner, wouldn't you estimate that, or wouldn't you conclude that a 12 gauge shotgun would have a wider pattern at this distance than a gun of a lesser gauge?
Not necessarily.
Any way to make that determination?
I just know the higher the gauge, the more velocity it is for the pellets, and they're not going to spread out as fast as they would with a smaller one. If that makes any sense.
Well, to me, it doesn't make any. I'm not arguing with you, just I'm not following you.
Yeah, okay.
When you go up that hill behind Kirby's house, like Caitlin said she walked, how far is, if she's going to the deer stand, which is way up there, I'm told, how far do you estimate that to be? You've never done it though, have you?
I rode up there on the side by side,
Well, okay, that's what I would have done.
but I didn't attempt to go up the hill. No,
Didn't Tommy Mason attempt to do
he
it
did.
himself?
He did.
Okay. Did he make it?
No, he did not.
He didn't make it.
No, he did not.
Okay. I'll tease him about that. Okay, well, I'm trying to figure out how far Caitlin says she walked, quote, looking for Kirby when he hadn't shown up in almost 3 days.
I don't know the exact, just estimating a quarter mile up the hill.
Judge, let me just thumb through my notes, okay? There was some blood in the carport, or what you said you thought was blood, that you never had tested to determine either if it was in fact blood and determine whose it was.
Don't shut up.
Why didn't you have it tested?
Excuse me.
I'm sorry.
Like I said, at the time, we were going to try to test it and everything, and it was so much going on and so many, things going on that I thought somebody else had already collected a sample, and they thought I already collected a sample, so it didn't get collected.
Has David Barnes, is his case over with?
Is not.
Is pending, his
It-
case is being held over his head pending whatever happens here, I take it.
Didn't promise him anything, so
You're not involved in those decisions, sir.
no, I'm not.
Did you ever determine the name of the man from Chattanooga, Tennessee, that Kirby had gotten ripped off by his Memphis gang, and he tried to flip that being ripped off by going to Chattanooga and recouping his money from the diamond guy?
I don't
Did you ever,
remember.
did you
I
ever,
talked to the guy on the phone, but I don't
did
remember
you
what his name
investigate
was.
that guy?
I talked to him,
Did you ask him where he was?
but I didn't ask him anything about all of that, 'cause I didn't even heard anything about
Did
that.
you investigate where Ray Palmer was on November the 30th?
Who, Ray Palmer, MBI talked to Ray Palmer.
Well, you got access to what MBI does. Y'all are a team. Did anybody ask Ray Palmer, where were you on November the 30th at 7 o'clock at night?
I believe MBI did when they talked to him.
You know which MBI agent did that?
I believe it was Josh Jarvis. It may have been Daryl Mathis with him. I don't remember for sure.
How about David Hancock?
I talked to him briefly out front.
The kind of threats he'd made to Kirby, and you talked to him briefly. That's all
Yes,
you
he
did.
didn't have access to the house and to the sink box to hide it and disable the cameras.
Well, we don't know who did all of that.
I don't believe David Hancock did.
Well, you're not saying that Jeff Spence had access to all of that.
He had access to it through his daughter.
Say it again?
He had access to it through his daughter.
What day? That day?
I guess whatever day.
After he had gone to North Carolina and y'all claim he came back?
I don't know. I mean, he had access to it that day through her.
What I described, you weren't in your opening statement, were you?
I was not.
You were not. I described to the members of the jury my understanding of what the state's current theory is. And that is that on November the 29th, we left, Karen and Jeff left 10 hours. And the theory is that Jeff came back 10 hours the next day. And then killed Kirby and went back to Virginia 10 hours. Is that still the theory?
It's a possible theory.
Well, if that's not the theory, tell me what it is.
It's a possible theory.
I'm not asking if it's a possible theory. I'm asking you if that is the government's position. I'm entitled to know.
It's based on what Caitlin says. That's the theory that he returned.
Well, we're going to deal with that because Caitlin is. Thank you so much.
Correct.
Well, let me visit my desk over there. I got folks making notes. On the trip.
Were we just having a good old boy chat there or what? I mean, my goodness. I don't know why. I don't know why, Monty. I don't. No, it's not going good for the prosecution. I said that early this morning.
Just a couple more and I'm going to let you go.
Okay.
The jury's heard the name of Giovanni Aguayo. Giovanni Aguayo, A-G-O-Y-A, I think, something like that. And I read in some of the investigative reports in this case that Sheriff Gallard instructed you to get an interview with Giovanni Aguayo. Did you do that?
I talked to him on the phone several times. I didn't do an official interview with him. He hasn't been here to get one.
I was reading where the sheriff says he instructed you to go to Texas. You didn't go to Texas.
Nah, sheriff has never instructed me to go to Texas.
But I read it somewhere, Chris.
I don't know where.
The question is, you didn't go to Texas.
No, I did not. No.
You've never personally met him.
No, I never have.
Okay. You know that Bart Adams is working in this case in a civil matter
Yes.
involving the assets that belong to these two children.
Yes.
Okay. He's the estate lawyer identifying estate items, and he had taken possession of a lot of estate items
Yes.
and was storing them in his law office, right?
Yes.
And that on January the 19th, 2023, Bart Adams' law office was broken into,
It was.
and Kirby's possessions that were there were stolen.
That's my understanding.
Any idea who that is?
I don't know. David Barnes was questioned about it, and that's one he wouldn't admit to.
Well, let me ask, well, you just questioned David. What else have you done to find out who that is?
It's happened in the city. That's the city's place to look into that, not me.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. If we can determine who that person is, don't you think we might be finding Kirby's killer?
I think we found Kirby's killer.
That's debatable, okay. And then on January the 9th, I think I've got it right. January the 19th was the law office, right?
I don't
And
remember.
January the 9th, not only did Kirby have valuables in Bart Adams' law office, Kirby had valuables in his truck, or somebody thought.
They thought, yeah.
Thought
I don't
anyway.
believe there was anything in the truck.
And to protect that truck from whoever might have known where it was or where valuables were in Bart's law office, that truck was secured in the United States Army National Guard facility.
Yes.
You would think that would deter just about anybody. But that National Guard facility was burglarized, right?
It was.
And that truck was pried open.
It was.
And now my question to you is, if we can find out who that was, don't you think we would find his killer?
I don't think it had anything to do with the other.
Okay, what do you base that on?
The investigation and my knowledge of the case.
Well, tell us specifically, other than Chris just don't want to answer that question, or you don't have an answer to that question.
That's based on my investigation. I don't think one had to do with the other.
Based on your investigation, Chris, who knew where that truck was? Who?
I don't know.
People
I didn't know.
associated with this case,
I
who
have-
knew where that truck was?
I don't know. I think some of the supervisors did, and Bart Adams and Sheriff may have known. I don't know.
All right, who knew what was in Bart Adams' law office? Who knew? What people?
I don't know that. I guess Bart, the people that worked for him, and the people that placed the items in there. But I don't know who all did.
Is Bart going to be here tomorrow?
He's here today, but I don't know when he's supposed to testify.
He'll be here. Thank you.
All right, let's take a little break. You want to just go back? They'll get ready 10 or 15 minutes, we'll bring them back out anyway. Remember the court stuff? Don't talk about the case no more.
Does anybody really have a clue what's going on? I see. I don't think I'm the only one that's a little confused. Okay. Right. I I really don't know. I mean, I know this is day one, but if this is how it's going to be, I just don't know. This is just crazy. No, you're not the only one that's confused. Trust me. I I don't know. Maybe it's their way of doing things in Mississippi. I have no idea. Um, they are an hour behind us. They're on Central Time. I'm on Eastern. Oh my word, Monty. Oh dear. Yeah, there is no connection for me either. I'm going to mute that in case they play their music. Yeah. I don't get it. I really don't. I don't know what else to say. Yeah. No connection for Gloria either. Yeah, none. I told you all what I felt about the state, and that has just allowed the defense to come in and just poke away, poke holes. I don't know. And what do you really think that Caitlin's going to have to say against her dad? I don't know. Oh, let me unmute it and see. Nope. The cameraman's just having fun trying to find the seal. Yeah, she was 35 and he was 36. And that's Kirby. Oh, yeah, maybe she was a year older. She was 35 or 37. I don't know. I don't know what their crime rate is or anything. Yeah, he was 36. Let's see. Huh. I don't want to use that. Let's see. Hold on. Sorry about that. Oh, are you leaving, Julie? Okay, you have an eye appointment. Okay. Hope it goes well. Let's see. What was I reading? I don't want to read that one. I can't get on that. Okay, she pleads guilty to accessory charges and will testify against parents. Let's see. This is Explorer Clarion. Caitlin, who was previously indicted on capital murder charges along with her parents, entered a plea on April 17th of 2025. The charge was reduced as part of the plea agreement that requires her to provide truthful testimony in the two related cases according to court documents. The court accepts the plea and defers sentencing. Spence was released on the $10,000 professional bond with strict conditions. We read that earlier. I just don't get it. Yeah, the trial is a cluster. Yes, it is. Okay, she was 37. Okay. Okay. Don't jump. You might slide. I don't know. I just don't see what the state has yet. Okay. Did anybody else see anything other than his legs this morning while we were live? I didn't, but evidently, I guess they showed more. I didn't either, Jennifer. I thought, well, maybe I blinked too long and missed something. I don't know. They all look like a piece of work. I didn't either. I saw his legs up to, and then they showed his waist area, and that's all we saw. But I don't know what Court TV did not show his head. Yeah, they showed his waist too. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think we should do this again tomorrow and see how it goes? It could have been, Jennifer. That could have been when you were moving upstairs to get warm. I mean, I did step away to get a drink, and something to eat. But I don't remember seeing any of that. I'll have to go back and look later. Okay, you want to do it again tomorrow? Okay. It's it's rather dry, but maybe the next witness will be a little more prepared. I don't know. Right, Jennifer, yeah. I'm going to put them back on here. I just I don't know. And I've read the articles to you that I could find. Good night, Gloria. I hope you will join us again tomorrow. I will get that set up later and have it ready to go. I don't even know how long it's supposed to last. I don't even think that was even said. I have no idea. Spence received. Nope. I can't read that because it goes to a pop-up. No, this one didn't. Nope, there it did. And then it disappears. So I don't know. I don't know how long it's supposed to last. I really don't know. Oh, yes. I agree, Broken Justice. We need to hear hers. No, I don't know how many witnesses. I have no knowledge of none of that. I don't know. But did you see my post that I made last night about oh man, my brain went blank. Oh, I feel bad about that. Yeah. Man, I have brain fade today. Bad. Jasper. There we go. No, they're not done for the day. They're on a break. Here, I can put this on there. About that time, they'll show up, maybe. Sorry if you hear the traffic. But yeah, if you haven't seen my post about Jasper, there's more to talk about on that. All right. We must be coming back or waiting on the jury still.
All right, you may redirect for the state.
Okay. You were asked about David Barnes on cross-examination.
Yes.
Do you know when he was being investigated for that string of break-ins, whether he was arrested in Union County? Do you know Union County?
He has charges in Union County.
Were they the ones were you there when he was arrested?
Yeah, I arrested him.
Okay. Did he have any items, search incident to arrest, related to Kirby Carpenter in his possession?
Did not.
Anything that looked like any of this property that was taken from A1 storage or any of the bank safety
No.
deposit box in Virginia?
Did not.
Now, are you a ballistics expert?
No.
Okay, so your testimony on that is just based on your
Personal experience.
personal experience.
Yes.
All right. Now, Ray Palmer, was that, do you know if that matter was part of the estate that Bart dealt with? Whether there was some business conflict or controversy?
I believe it was. You'll have to ask Bart that, though.
All right.
I believe.
Now, David Hancock, did he come by the sheriff's department after Kirby's death?
He did.
When did he do that?
Seemed like it was the next week after Kirby got killed.
All right. Did you call him to come down there?
No.
Why'd he come down there?
He came down there wanting to know what he needed to do to try to get his $2,500 back that Kirby owed him.
All right. Did you tell me how old he was?
He was 70s.
Older gentleman,
Yes.
want to know how to get his money back from the estate.
Yes.
All right. Now, in that letter that David Hill asked you about, journal that Kirby Carpenter had recorded where they had threatened him, David
Yes.
Hancock,
Yes.
was there somebody else?
Adam Gates.
All right. And he was associated with Hancock.
I guess. I don't know.
Did you know that other guy?
I did know him.
And how old was he?
Adam was in his 30s, I think, maybe early 40s.
All right. And so he would have been included in one of those that had made a threat as recorded in Kirby's journal.
His name was in there, yes.
Did you investigate that part of it?
He had died from COVID. He
How did-
was dead when Kirby was killed.
Okay, so he couldn't have done it.
He couldn't have done it.
And based on your investigation, I think the one thing that you've been saying all along is somebody close to him had access to the house,
That's correct.
primarily because of how the body was displayed, the condition it was in, as well as the security camera.
That's correct.
Now, you were asked about whether the items that were found in Virginia specifically (24A and B), the items that you did your own investigation on, in and of themselves, they don't have value.
No.
You wouldn't just pick that up. I believe he said he may have inadvertently picked them up out of the house.
Yeah, that's what he says.
Mr. Hill said.
Yes.
But how many receipts, and including the check, as well as the bank bans from People's Bank and Ripley, were there? Was it one document?
No, it's multiple ones.
Multiple. You had receipts from where he had gone to the ATM or gone to the teller and withdrawn money.
That was Kirby's receipt.
All right. And you had the check that was from Kirby to David Barnes.
That's correct.
And in order to get a receipt from the bank, that would be during banking hours,
Yes.
normal working business hours.
Yes.
And Kirby would have been conducting his own personal business as well, correct?
Yes. I'm assuming. Yes.
And what would he normally carry with him everywhere he went when he conducted his
It's
business?
a satchel.
All right. Would it make sense for someone to put those kind of receipts from the bank in that satchel after they
Yes.
made a transaction at the bank?
Yes.
All right. Was there another one that you followed up on besides the bank receipt?
Had a Panther's Den receipt.
What is that Panther's Den
It's a
receipt?
convenience store down the road from Kirby's.
Okay. And what was that about?
It's just something he had bought in there, and I guess kept the receipt.
That's all I have here. Can he remain on the spindle wheels?
Remaining, you, stay out of the courtroom anyway, don't discuss the testimony with anyone. We'll just take calls next week, you may be excused anyway.
State called Bart Adams.
Mr. McCallister, if you would show Bart Adams in when you come in, take the one out.
Bart Adams, Bart.
Mr. McCallister getting you there anyway. You just go back to sleep. Well, Mr. Adams, face the court reporter here and be sworn in.
You solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this call will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. Have a seat there in the witness chair.
Mr. Adams, position I've always wanted to be in, having you under oath. Tell the jury who you are.
My name's Bart Adams.
And where do you live and what do you do?
I live in Ripley, Mississippi. I'm an attorney there. I have just a general practice and just a typical small town practice. We do a little bit of everything. I have been a municipal court judge. I've been elected as the county prosecutor for 5 terms now. So I've been doing that since 2008. I do anything and everything that walks through the door for the most part, except for domestic work.
We know each other.
That's right.
And, it's all right if I call you Bart.
Absolutely.
That's what I usually call you. Bart, did you know Kirby Carpenter?
I did.
How long did you know him?
I would say 12, 15 years.
All right. And were y'all acquaintances, friends? How would you describe your relationship?
I would say we were acquaintances, and Kirby was a client of mine.
Did you know his family, his mother, Mattie Jane?
I did not know Miss Maddie until all of this started.
What about his sister, Casey?
I had met Casey before and dealt with her.
Did you just work for her?
Yep.
All right. So you've been around Kirby, you say 12 years. Were you familiar with his businesses?
I was. He had a gold and silver store.
Was that North Mississippi Gold, Silver, and Coin Exchange?
That's correct. And it was right across the street from me, from my law office.
What other businesses did he have, if any?
Kirby got in the liquor business after liquor passed in Ripley, and I represented or assisted him getting all that set up. I had done some real estate transactions for Kirby. I'd done some title work. I had done some closings for him.
So he bought and sold land?
Yes, sir.
Now, he was a musician too, was he not?
He was a jack of all trades, I guess. He had a lot of interesting things.
Was he, could he play?
Yeah, I had been over to his store before, and he was in there picking on the guitar, I guess.
Did he collect guitars?
It appeared that way. There were a bunch of them in his store, and obviously once I got into the estate, there were a lot of guitars.
And you said you already testified that you had done some legal work for him?
That's correct.
Mainly land type work?
Land work. I believe I created an LLC or 2 for him when he was purchasing the liquor store and that type thing.
And I believe you mentioned his gold and silver and coin business. Were you familiar with that business?
I was.
Would he have these items in his store?
He had all kinds of items in that store,
Okay.
anything from gold and silver to coins to there was ammo, there were guns, there were guitars. He had some kind of old coffin in there that was I guess just a showpiece more than anything.
Antique cars?
He was involved with antique cars as well, yes.
Would it be fair to say that anything he could collect, he was interested in?
Absolutely.
All right. Did you, as far as the gold, silver, and coins, now we're not talking about change out of your pocket. You're talking about valuable coins.
That's right. Yeah, collectible coins. He also dealt with a lot of, I don't know how familiar you are with that stuff, but the older quarters, nickels, dimes, they also contain silver. He dealt with a lot of that kind of stuff.
Gold bars.
Absolutely. There were silver bars. There were gold coins, gold bars, all of that type of stuff.
And during your acquaintance with him, did he get you into buying and selling gold and silver and coins?
He did, yes.
Did you deal? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I bought bought gold and silver from him. I've sold him gold and silver. I've sold bars. I've traded bars, gold bars or silver bars with him, and as well as coins.
Did you ever know him to be without inventory?
No.
With respect to gold, silver, and coins?
He always had something. It may not be exactly what you were looking for, but he always had something.
All right, so let me ask you this. Did you deal with anybody else when you were trading and buying and selling gold, silver, and coins?
Not really.
Why'd you just deal with Kirby?
I was comfortable dealing with him. I trusted him. I didn't feel like he was going to, I guess, try to rip me off or take advantage of my lack of experience or lack of knowledge in that stuff.
Knowing Kirby, did you see him pretty often? Can you hear me?
Sorry, they told me to do this.
That's why I'm the assistant. Tall. I was born like this.
Yes, I saw him. It just depends. I would go 3 weeks and see him several times a week, and then I'd go a month and not see him.
Did he ever have something on his person that caught your attention?
Kirby oftentimes wore a hat. He always had I call it a man purse, a bag, a satchel, something. I don't really know what everybody would call it, a briefcase maybe.
I would call it a satchel.
Okay.
Stay away from man purse.
Fair enough.
Did you know what he kept in that satchel?
I never looked in it personally, no.
All right. Did you ever discuss that with him?
He and I never discussed it. Now, when in my business dealings with him, he had pulled out coins. He had pulled out cash to buy coins.
Out of the satchel?
That's correct. I also know he had come into my office before with that and had paperwork, deeds, or other paperwork, whatever we were working on at the time. He had that kind of stuff in there as well.
All right, well, being a person that dealt, is it a fair statement that he regularly traded gold, silver, and coins?
I think that's a very fair statement.
Would it surprise you that he would carry a lot of cash in that satchel?
It would not surprise me at all.
He also carried a firearm, did he not?
He did.
Does that surprise you?
Not at all. Seems like he always kept a pistol in his pocket.
Do you know why he did that?
I guess personal protection. He and I never discussed that.
All right. Well, would you be surprised somebody that carries around a lot of cash or valuables would carry a firearm?
That would not surprise me at all.
All right, let's just move on to how did you learn that Kirby had been killed or Kirby was dead? And when did you learn that?
I believe it was Sunday evening, would have been December the 4th of 2022. I believe it was Sunday. It may have been Saturday. I'm not positive on the date, but the sheriff's department called me. I get these calls all the time being the prosecutor. They want to know what to do.
Yeah, you're county prosecutor,
That's
right?
correct, yes. So they called me asking what to do. Somebody was at Kirby's house loading bags of silver and other coins into the back of a vehicle. They didn't know whether they should let these people go, leave them there, arrest somebody. They didn't know what to do. At that point in time, nobody knew who it belonged to. I didn't know who was arguing. I don't ask who these people are when they call me with those kind of questions.
Sure.
I intentionally don't ask that so that it doesn't taint my answer. My answer to them was, if there's two parties there and both of them are saying it's theirs, it's a civil matter. They need to go see a lawyer tomorrow morning. After we had the conversation, had completed all that, I asked them who they were talking about. And that's when, it may have been Chris McCallister that I talked to. I can't remember for sure. That's when they told me that it was Kirby Carpenter.
Kirby Carpenter died.
That's correct.
Okay. So at the time you, received the call, well, when you gave them the advice that this property that had been being taken or loaded into the car, did you know Kirby had died then, by that time?
No.
Okay. All right. Now, at some point, you opened an estate for Kirby. Is that correct?
That's correct. That conversation that I had, I believe, was on a Sunday evening. And then Monday morning, I met with Kirby's mother and sister.
That would be Maddie Jane and Casey?
That's correct. And then opened the estate later that day.
All right. Now, was a will ever located?
No, nobody could find a will anywhere when they came to me. And then in all my searching afterwards, I never found a will.
You do a lot of estate work.
I have in the past. I try to limit that too. I try to stay out of Chancery Court as much as I can.
Okay.
Yes.
I understand. But just for the jury's purpose, this is what we call dying intestate without a will.
That's correct. Yes.
All right. Now, what significance does that have to do as far as heirs go?
If you die intestate, your heirs are set by statute. So Kirby was not married, so everything he had would go to his children.
All right. And that would be Towns
and
Enola. All right. They would be the sole and only heirs.
That's correct.
And I believe, and we don't have an executor in an intestate estate, we have an administrator. Is
That's
that right?
correct. And
who's
executor
named
is
the
only if there's a will.
Right. And who was named the administrator?
Maddie Jane.
And that is by an order entered by a chancellor. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes.
All right. Now, as part of the administrator's duty and the estate attorney's duty, is part of that is one of the duties to marshal what we call marshaling the assets of the estate.
That's correct. Once somebody is appointed as the administrator, they are responsible for the assets of the estate.
All right, and let me back up a little bit. You became aware at the time that some people had taken some things, various people had taken various items that would have been part of Kirby's estate. Is that right?
That's correct. Yes, Maddie Jane had told me that she had taken some of the items, and that I believe Caitlin and possibly Jeff and Karen had taken some of the items from the house.
And what were your instructions to these people?
They needed to bring all of that stuff back so that it could be secured and inventory.
All right. So that's what you do as you're marshaling the estates, the assets of the estate. Your inventory.
That's right. Yeah, I began an inventory the following day. So I opened the estate on Monday, began doing an inventory on Tuesday the 6th.
And I believe you got your two boys to help you one night. Is that right?
I did. I think that was probably the following week. The first time I went out to Kirby's house on the 6th, I had no idea the amount of stuff we were talking about.
Okay.
I don't know why. I didn't expect everything that was there to be there.
All right. So you went out there on the 6th.
That's correct.
All right. And who was there? Who was at the house at that time?
Maddie Jane was there. I believe Casey was there. Caitlin was there. Caitlin's mother was there, and Enola was there. It seems like there were a couple of other people around. I don't recall who they were.
All right. Could you generally describe the inside of the house?
It was a lot. There was
orderly?
stuff everywhere.
Was it tidy, orderly?
No, there was stuff everywhere. I mean, their bedroom was clothing. There was items all over the dresser, the chest of drawers. There was a room in the back that had a safe, I call it the safe room. There were like 3 safes in there and then another little locking cabinet. And you had to pick and choose where you even walked to get in there.
All right.
And stuff was literally stacked to the ceiling.
All right. And I believe there were 2 or 3 trailers outside.
There was as much stuff outside as there was inside. The garage, when you walk into the house, there's a 2-car garage, and that garage.
Is it a garage or a carport?
It was a garage.
Okay.
It had garage doors. And one side of that garage was just packed full of stuff. The other side, there was a walkway, but other than the walkway, it was packed full of stuff. That's how you went in. That's how most people seem to be going in the house. That's how I went in the house when I got there. Outside was, I guess, a portable carport that had a vehicle. It had a car under it. It had a motorcycle maybe under it. Seems like there were a bunch of gas cans, just stuff. There was a camper in the driveway. There were several enclosed trailers out there. There was another storage building in the yard as well that you could barely walk in.
All right. You mean it was one of those storage buildings you might get at Lowe's or Home Depot?
Yeah, it was a little bigger. It was a little nicer than that. Somebody had built this one. It was bigger than
All right.
something like that.
Now, is it true that did you tell Maddie Jane to put locks on the trailers?
I did. I
Why?
told her, well, it was her responsibility to secure all of the property.
All right.
That was the easy stuff that was accessible. Everything else, for the most part, they could shut the garage doors and lock the door to the house, and nobody could get in to get to any of it.
Were you ever made aware of a concern about the defendant, Jeff Spence, taking silver from the house?
Yes, on several different occasions. Obviously, the night that law enforcement called me, he was allegedly taking bags of silver. I was told on a couple of different occasions that he had gotten other items out of the home as well.
All right. Now, you had, be fair to a lot of stuff to you.
I did. It took me probably a week to find somewhere to put all of the stuff.
I think you tell the jury where you tried to locate it.
I went through everything I could think of. I initially went to the sheriff's department. The sheriff said he didn't have enough room to store all the stuff. My next stop was at the Chantry building. I went to the Chantry clerk's office to find out. I knew they had a safe there, a vault.
Mm-hmm.
So I went up there to see if I could move the stuff in there. They didn't have enough room for it and really didn't want all the stuff in there. I represent, my law firm also represents the Board of Supervisors. And I knew that the county had recently gotten the National Guard Armory back from the Mississippi National Guard. So that was my next thought. I contacted the sheriff, asked him if we could use that vault. We had to track down the combination to get into the vault. Once we did that, we went and looked at it, decided I guess I was the only one that went up there. So I went and looked at it, decided it was big enough to hold most everything that needed to be moved. And then I believe it was on the 13th, the following week, when I went back and did an additional inventory. There was enough, I guess, contention about who's taking what out of the house that I didn't feel comfortable leaving everything there anymore. So I had my boys with me. We loaded up one of the enclosed trailers. We loaded my truck. We loaded, seems like that may have been the night we loaded stuff into Kirby's truck and took all of that to the armory.
All right, so all this is later on, I believe you put some stuff at your office?
Yes, that was a month or two down the road.
All right,
yes.
Down the road, So at this point, everything that's been inventoried, and I'm assuming writing this down, is at the armory.
Everything that I took out of the house went to the armory. I didn't take everything that we were inventorying. And the reason for that was there were 3 gun safes there. I didn't see a reason to move the stuff out of those gun safes. I didn't think anybody was going to come in and take the safes out of the room. I had a deputy there with me, and we changed the code with Caitlin's help. We changed the code on the safes. She had already changed them. At some point after Kirby's death, Caitlin had changed the codes on the safe so that nobody could get in them. She opened the safes for me, and at that point, we again changed the codes. The only person, I had the code to it, and the investigator that went out there with me had the code to it.
Who was that?
Josh Bateman.
Okay. And the stuff at the armory, so you've got stuff in the safe, and then you pull the trailer in there.
That's right. I pulled the stuff in. I pulled the trailer in, pulled Kirby's truck in, and we unloaded everything out of the trailer, put it in the vault, locked the vault so that everything was secure.
And at some point, the armory was broken into. Is that right?
That's right. I believe that would have been sometime late January.
Of 23?
That's correct.
No, I'm sorry, 24.
No, it would have been 23.
Okay.
Yeah, the estate was opened in December of 22. I believe it was late January of 23.
All right.
Chris McCallister had called and said they were looking for something in the truck, wanted to know where the truck was. When we took that stuff up there, I intentionally did not tell anyone where it was. Me and my 2 boys were the only people and my law partner were the only people that knew where this stuff was.
And the sheriff.
And the sheriff. My understanding from the sheriff was nobody in his office knew where it was either.
Okay. So you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people in there.
That's correct.
All right. And I don't believe anybody was ever apprehended for that break-in.
No.
Was anything taken?
No. When they broke into the armory, they cut the power coming into it. They pried the back door open. They beat on every window of Kirby's truck. You could see the marks from a crowbar on every, or a hammer or something, where they used to beat on the door or the windows to the truck. They tried to pry a couple of the doors open, and finally were successful in breaking one of the windows.
But they didn't take anything.
There was nothing in there.
Nothing in the truck.
I had taken all of the guns and all of the stuff out of the truck and put it in the vault.
All right. And I believe, and you may not know this, but being county prosecutor, that armory's been broken into before, hasn't it?
I think it has.
I recall it too.
There's just not much up there. It kind of sits up there by itself.
Right. All right. So then you start putting stuff into your office. Is that right?
So I don't recall exactly when it was. I believe it was sometime around March. The landlord for the gold and silver store, Kirby had rented that building. The landlord was ready to do something with it.
The stuff inside the store.
That's correct. He was ready to do something with his store, so we had to get the stuff out. By that time, we had employed an auction company, or were trying to employ them. We were working with the auction company.
And why'd you tell the jury why you do that?
Something has to be done with all the stuff of the estate. The kids obviously can't wait until they're 21 years old to deal with the property. We can't store it for that period of time, so we were going to have to sell the stuff.
So Towns at that point is 4, 5?
I believe Towns was 5 or 6.
Okay, and then
Enola was a baby. She was several months old.
So you sell it, you take the money and stick it in a guardianship account of some sort?
That's right, yeah.
Okay. Right.
So we had enlisted the help of the auction company. So I met Maddie Jane and the folks from the auction company over at the gold and silver store. When we went in, I thought Maddie Jane had already removed all that stuff. When I went in, I saw Kirby didn't keep a whole lot of valuable stuff there. The real valuable stuff he kept with him.
On his person?
On his person or in his truck. so that he would come and go. But when I saw some of the stuff that was there, it was pretty valuable stuff. So we took those items back to my office. That was late one afternoon. I had to be out of town the next day.
Was this you and your boys took it?
No, it was, my boys were not involved then. They were probably in school. They were 15, 16 at the time. Okay. So it would have been me, Maddie Jane, and the folks from the auction company. I don't remember if Casey was there. She was there for a whole lot of the meetings. She was involved pretty heavily in all that stuff. Okay. Trying to help her mother.
Right.
We moved. It wasn't a ton of stuff. It was one trip with 4 or 5 of us taking the stuff back to my office. We put it in my conference room so that we could inventory it.
Okay.
And then I was going to take it to the armory and lock it up in the vault.
Even though these items hadn't been inventoried yet, you have a general recollection of what was there?
Yeah, there were, one thing I remember that just sticks out is Kirby had a picture on the wall that was a sheet of, I believe it was dollar bills or $2 bills that were uncut. So it's like just a sheet from the mint that was up on the wall. I made sure that came out. There were some coins, just random silver coins that were in there. That was really about it of any value. I don't know exactly what it was, but
if it had been something really valuable, would you think you'd remember it?
Absolutely, yes.
Now, so the only people that knew about this were you, Maddie Jane as the administrator or administratrix, possibly Casey and the auction company.
That's right. And I guess obviously the people that work in my office would have seen that as well.
And at some point your office was broken into, is that right?
That night.
That night.
Yeah, I left town. I believe it was that night I left town to go. I had the meeting early the next morning. Got up the next morning. Our meeting started fairly early, 7:30 or 8 o'clock. And I get a phone call from my paralegal that when she got to the office, the back door was jarred open.
All right. And when you got back to evaluate what had been taken,
They took almost everything that was in that pile of stuff that we had brought back from the store. They took a pistol out of my drawer, out of my desk drawer.
Your pistol?
My pistol, yes, absolutely, it was mine. Took my pistol. We have an accountant that shares office space with us. They had broken into his office, gone through his desk. To the best of my knowledge, they didn't take anything. They took a fireproof safe that my law partner keeps in his office, or used to keep in his office, doesn't anymore. He had a fireproof safe that just had deeds and paperwork, that type of stuff in it.
So it was just a grab and go.
That's right. Well, they were there for some time because they went through everybody's desk. I found it odd, actually. I had a silver coin in my desk drawer that they didn't get. I don't know why.
And I don't believe anybody has ever been apprehended.
Not to the best of my knowledge.
All right. And again, only 4 or 5 people knew that the estate stuff was there.
That's right.
But they didn't just hit the estate stuff. They hit your partner.
Yeah, they went through every desk in my office.
Okay. And do you have an idea of, you hadn't inventoried the stuff from the estate in your office at that point?
No, I had not had time to do it at that point.
So you don't know how much everything was worth, but would you think it was worth a lot of money?
No, I would guesstimate it being $3,000 or $4,000.
Okay. And in the grand scheme of things in Kirby's estate, is that a great deal of money?
No.
All right. So you turn the inventory over to the auction company. I assume they finished the inventory of what was found.
They did, yeah. I did the inventory for, gosh, I tried to go through it with my office staff. with the help of my office staff, we tried to do the inventory for, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks maybe. And once we realized there was the volume of stuff that was there and we were going to have the auction anyway, I discussed it with Maddie Jane, and we decided the best, I believe Caitlin was actually involved in that conversation. We discussed it and all agreed that we would let the auction company do the inventory.
All right, and they conduct the finished inventory, conduct the sale, they take a percentage as their fee, is that right?
That's right.
So that's essentially being paid by the estate.
That's right, yeah. There was no point in the estate paying me to do an inventory and then turning around and paying the auction company to do the same thing. Because they were gonna have to take each item, they were gonna have to, figure out what it was and how to market it.
All right, and the auction company provided you a final inventory of, because let me back up. The administratrix has to make an accounting, correct?
That's correct, yes.
All right, and to make that accounting, she has to have the inventory, and which would also list the sales proceeds that were generated from the sales of the items.
That's correct, yes.
All right. So do you have an idea, or can you tell the jury what the total value of Kirby's estate of the stuff that was found to be? Including the land that's been
stuff
sold.
that was auctioned, I believe was about $1.5 million.
All right. And there's still stuff that's unsold.
There's still a house and 120 acres. There is another gun safe full of gold coins, a couple of guns, and some other, I guess, more personal items that Caitlin and Whitney wanted to set aside for the children.
All right. And being familiar with Kirby for 12 years, knowing his business, did the estate as inventoried by you and the auction company contain much cash?
No, there was very little cash. He had $2,800 in his pocket, and I don't remember much cash at all being in those safes.
All right. What about gold?
No, there was very little gold. There was a few small gold pieces, but it was odd to me how little gold and cash there was.
I was going to ask you, were you surprised by this, being familiar with this business?
Yeah, I was very surprised by that, considering what he did.
And at this point in his life, he was 36 years old. Was he winding down his gold, silver, and coin business?
Not to the best of my knowledge.
Bart, were there many creditors' claims? Tell the jury what a creditor's claim is.
So when you file an estate, the first thing you have to do is you have to publish for creditors, is what we call it. You have to literally publish a notice in the paper saying, if this person owed you money, file a claim with the Chancery Court. We did that very soon after we opened the estate. That's just the normal practice of it. There were a handful of claims filed. The People's Bank, I remember, filed a claim because he still owed money on the house he lived in. There was a claim from, can't remember the gentleman's name. He had bought 120 acres from this guy. The guy financed a portion of it for Kirby. That man filed a claim against the estate. The guy that he was renting the gold and silver store from filed a claim for the unpaid rent.
Okay.
There were, like I said, there were several months after Kirby died that we didn't go get the stuff out.
And as far as bank claims, that's just, they do that to protect themselves, do they not?
Yeah, they file the claim so that they can get paid. That's the only way their note gets paid. If there's assets there, they get paid. If they had a lien on the house and we wouldn't have had enough money, they would have been able to get the house.
Yeah, were all these liens satisfied to your knowledge?
To the best of my knowledge, everything was satisfied.
And also the the estate itself filed suit, I believe, against Ray Palmer.
It was against Ray Palmer and several others.
All right. And tell the jury what that had to, what was the underlying debt there?
So Kirby had owned a liquor store in Boonville and sold that liquor store to, I would call it Mr. Palmer Group. There were, I don't remember how many partners in that there were. There was Mr. Palmer, I believe his mother owned an LLC that was part of that deal. There was some attorney from down in South Mississippi somewhere, and another gentleman that I don't recall. When I found out that those notes were still outstanding, I reached out to Mr. Palmer first, just because he was the one that was local. He was the one that was actually running the business. When I reached out to him, he told me that they didn't have enough assets to pay the note. At that point, the estate hired Chandler Rogers to file suit.
All right, and that suit was filed?
It was filed.
And are you familiar with the financing in place for that liquor store? In other words, was Kirby the only creditor?
He was not. When Kirby sold that liquor store, I believe that group paid him a little bit of money in cash. I believe it was Merchants and Farmers or some bank out of Boonville financed a big portion of it for the Palmer Group. So Kirby was able to receive that money, but there was still, I think there were two notes for roughly $100,000 each to cover the remaining purchase price.
All right.
That Kirby financed for that group.
All right. So you spoke with Mr. Ray Palmer?
I did.
And how did those conversations go? Were they contentious, threatening, anything like that?
Absolutely not. No, Palmer was as nice as he could be about it. He was just very matter of fact. The business isn't doing well enough to pay the claims.
Mm-hmm. Were you aware of any contentious conversations between Kirby and Ray Palmer?
No, sir.
Favorite points and dollars.
Okay.
Tender the witness, Your Honor.
All right, cross-examination, what thing we can do? 448, how long do you expect? That'd be perfect. Come on.
I can't reach that high.
Unfortunately, not that.
That's probably good. How you doing, Bart?
Doing well.
Good to see you.
Yes, sir.
I just want to know about the Ray Palmer litigation. You hired Chandler Rogers to pursue that litigation for the estate. Am I right?
That's correct. The estate hired him.
The estate hired him. That's what I'm talking about. And what's the status of that litigation?
I'm not sure. I think it's kind of stale right now, quite frankly, but you would have to ask Chandler about that.
Okay, I'm intending to. All right. I'm intending to. All right. Do you happen to know how to find Ray Palmer?
I'm sure I've got a phone number for him somewhere in the file, but no, I don't personally know how to find him.
I'm more interested in an address.
No, sir. I don't know that I have an address for him.
Has he been served with the civil suit?
Yes, sir. This civil suit was filed probably 2 years ago.
And it's still pending?
Yes, sir.
Do you know, in fact, that he has been served? Do you know that? There's been no default taken against him, I take it.
No, sir. I believe all the defendants but one were served.
Okay.
There was one of the defendants that was not served. If I remember correctly, one of the defendants has passed away. One of the defendants has filed bankruptcy. So there's still 2, maybe 3 defendants left.
And they're all sued in their individual capacities, I take it.
I believe that's correct.
I know you told me once on the phone that you were intending to travel this week, and I take it that's still on, right?
Good Lord willing.
Well, I hope you kill some ducks, okay? I want to ask a favor of you. When you get to your office, would you check your file and see if you could give me a Ray Palmer address?
Yes, sir.
Could you do that today?
I guess, yes, sir.
I'm asking you to, one lawyer to another, and friends. Would you do that?
I will try to run by there and check it out.
And I should be in your system in terms of email. You should have my email, I would hope.
I believe so.
Okay. I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Redirect.
No, you're not.
All right, Mr. Saddles, you finally excused.
I don't know, we should have him hang out for about a week, I think. He skip his trip. No, he can be released, right?
All right, you may be finally excused, Mr. Adams. It looked like a good stopping place to me, anyway. I always noticed about the legal profession, you always find a place to stop right at lunchtime and right at 5 o'clock, anyway. So, remember the court's instructions don't discuss the case, don't allow anyone to discuss the case with you, don't form or express any opinions about the case, don't investigate the case in any manner. Stay away from any news broadcast about this, stay away from any social media posts or watch anything on TV. I know there's some cameras going here, I don't know exactly where they are, but if there's live streaming or what, just stay away from it. Y'all know how to do it. Y'all know more about that than I do. So, see y'all back in the court in the jury room at 9 o'clock in the morning, ready to go, okay? All right, thank y'all. Everybody stand for y'all, let's let the jury out.
Well. Hello, Avis and Little D. Good to see you guys. Glad you could jump in. We had a part 1 this morning. If you want to go check that out. It was a little slow. But I think we are starting to get some answers, maybe. And this is Kirby Carpenter. This is who we're here for. Sorry. Oh, I know, Avis. It's hard for you because being a teacher, I know. But yeah, I was trying to look up to see what time court stopped. And I was trying to find what county this was, so. Yeah. But this is Kirby. Yeah, part 2 was much more helpful. We got a few things. And that poor attorney, Bart. Wow. Things from his office. His office got broken into and that things were stolen. But nobody ever asked him my question. Did you have cameras? Did you see who done it? I hope we get to learn that. Yeah, Bart was cool. That's right. Yeah, his eyes are so sweet. But I'm not going to stay on here much longer. I hope you guys will come back tomorrow. I will get the live made. Yeah, Avis, we don't know very much, only from the few articles I was able to read this morning. So, just be warned that we all think the prosecution wasn't doing so good this morning. So, I'm just letting you know that, because it just didn't seem like it was going in the right direction for sure. But this afternoon seemed to pick up a little better, so we will see. I think as we get more witnesses that, have the relevant information, the more we will find out. Yes, they are. They're sitting on their hands. Oh, welcome back, Julie. We're just getting ready to leave. Yes, you can yell at your TV. Go ahead. All right. I will get the live set up for in the morning. I hope you will come back and hang out with me. If you don't, that's fine. You're welcome. But let's see. I don't know how to do this since I have the paid version. But I'm going to click this and we'll see what happens. Hopefully this will end my stream. No, not that. I have no idea. I have to figure it all out. But I will hit end and we will see what happens. If not, I will see you tomorrow. Bye.